Okay. So let me share my screen. Today we'll get started with our Python sessions. So around 15 to 17 sessions, we will take it for Python. Okay. So I'll start from basics till advanced. We'll discuss everything. Okay. So Python. So let us see why Python and how we can use it. Okay, Python is one of the programming languages similar to the C language or the Java language. Similar to that, we have a Python programming language. So compared to all other languages, I can say Python is the simplest language to learn. Even when you see some sample Python code, it looks like just a plain English. The syntax is also very simple. Whatever you are talking, the same way you can write it, but little format is required. So that is very easy to learn. Even the school going students will be able to understand. Okay. So it is very simple. Don't worry, even if you don't know anything, just if you know the English alphabets also, you'll be able to understand Python. Okay. It's a simple high level language. When I say high level, it will be user friendly. When we say low level languages, they will be complex to write, but they will be system friendly. Okay. High level means it is user friendly. Simple high level user friendly language. So this was started in around 1992, I think. So by the person called Guido van Rossum. This is all not required, but just giving you some background of how it started. Guido van Rossum. This is the person who started Python in 1992 or 91, somewhere in 91 or 92. Okay. So if you see nowadays, everybody is talking about Python. Why? Because it is open source. Open source, when I say open source, we don't need any license. Okay? We can install it for free and start using it. We no need to purchase any licenses. We no need to pay anything. Okay? No cost, which means it's a open source, which means no cost, no licensing and everything. And it is platform independent. When I say platform independent, there might be some languages like C or C++, which needs to be installed only on the Linux machines. There were some requirements to that earlier, not nowadays. Earlier, they used to have some requirements. If we switch it to other operating systems, let us say it works with one command in the Windows, we need to change the command to make it run in the Linux servers. So there are certain languages where we need to change that. But in case of Python, it works with the same program can work in Windows or Linux or Mac or anything. Okay. Same program works on all the OS operating systems. OS stands for operating systems. Windows, Linux, Mac, etc. Whatever it is, the same program works everywhere. We no need to make any changes. Okay, I'm just telling you the features of Python, why we are going to use it, and why everybody is relying on Python nowadays. Okay, it is platform independent and it is no cost and then easy to use. These are the three features. Other than that, we have a lot of things. Um, what I can say is this is a dynamically typed language that we can talk about later. At this point of time, you will not be able to understand. Installation is also so easy. We can easily set it up and start using. So it can be used for Python, can be used for web applications, data engineering, data science, AI ML. So there are various use cases where Python can be used. It can be there are web applications. There were some tools and technologies like Flask and Django where Python is heavily used to build the web applications or the data engineering, data science, AI, ML. So even though we have not listed here, there are a lot of things we can do with Python. Okay. And then we have various other features. First, we'll install Python and come back to that. Okay. Then only it will make sense to you. Okay. For installing the Python, it is so easy. just go to python.org website. Python.org. Any operating system, let it be. Just go to python.org system. Sorry, python.org website. And here you will see the downloads button. If you see the downloads, it will show you the latest version. See here, it will show you the latest version available for your operating system. Mine is Windows. So it is showing T.14, which is the latest version for me. Okay. Just click on this download. For you, if yours is a Mac or Linux, it will show you the relevant versions which is compatible with that system. So download this. Now the package is getting downloaded. Let us wait for a minute so that it gets downloaded. I think it is downloaded. So just go to the downloads folder. Okay, double click on this application, Python application. Double click on that. Okay, in my system, it is already installed. That's why it is showing these many options. So for you, it is, if it is not already installed, just click on install now. Sorry, one second, let me go back. One second. So these there are two options here. Use admin privileges when installing Python and add Python exe to the path. Please check these two boxes. Okay. So that later when you are using Python, you will not be facing any issues with the path or the privileges. Okay. Just select these two boxes. Click on install now. Okay. It is installing. It will take a couple of minutes. So meanwhile, we'll discuss the other features. So it has how it is able to support these many types of applications: web application, data engineering, data science, data analyst, AI, ML, how it is able to support. Because Python has very rich libraries, very vast number of libraries. Python has vast number of libraries to support various platforms. Okay, vast number of libraries. Let us say if you quickly want to have a calendar. Okay. So Python offers some module called calendar module. With that, you will be able to easily generate the calendar. So not only calendar, there are various things. If you want to read something from the email, if you want to send some email, there is also a library. So whatever you mention in Python, there will be libraries. So what is the use of these libraries? So libraries are like a predefined set of code. By just using by just importing that, importing means just write one liner of code to import that. You will get to understand slowly. By writing one liner code to import them to use it, we will be able to achieve that functionality. Sorry, anybody, any questions? Okay, please be on mute, everybody. Okay, so just by importing that one line of code, we will be able to achieve that functionality. So that is the flexibility we have with Python. Okay, so that's why it is extensively used across so many domains. Now coming back, let us go to the installation. So it setup is successful. I did not do anything, just clicked on the install now. Nothing else. Setup was successful. Just close this. Sridhar, please be on mute. Okay, so let me close this. Now the installation is successful. It says the setup was successful. Close this. So if you want to see if your Python is installed successfully or not, it says it was successful, but how do you know which version is installed? Uh, Maybe you have seen from the browser, but you want to confirm what is installed, where it is installed. So go to terminal. So in your system, sorry, not terminal, command prompt. Search for command prompt. Open that. Okay. Here just type the word Python. See, 3.14. That is the latest version which I have downloaded right now. So this is one way of confirming that Python is downloaded into your system and you are ready to use that. So another way is, so I'm closing this terminal. So this is one way of using it. Another way is, as soon as you install Python your system, it comes with IDLE. IDLE means Integrated Development Environment. IDLE. So it was showing various versions available on my system. So these were all the previous versions. So ours, the latest one is this one. IDLE Python 3.14. Just click on that. So this is the Python prompt. Okay. So usually we will not write anything here. You have to write a program and save it as a file. So for that, click on this file, new file. So here you have to write the programs. Let us say the very basic program, print hello world. If you want to print the hello world, so how you can do that? So let us see. Just write whatever you are talking, just write that, nothing else. Print with additional brackets and quotes. Okay. Hello world. This is all. So in other languages, not sure if anybody of you are aware of other languages. Even if you don't know, not a problem at all. So in other languages, in order to print this hello world also, we need minimum 4 5 lines. Minimum 4 5 lines. But in Python, just one line is enough to print this hello world. Even the other programs also compared to other languages, it is very simple. Okay, let me save this document. Okay, let me create a new folder. Go inside Python. I'll store it as hello.p. So if you see here, whenever you are saving the file by using the IDLE, when you have written up some program in IDLE and saving it, by default, it was saving as type Python files. Okay. Sometimes if you are writing it in notebooks or a WordPad, you can write it anywhere. There is no restriction to write Python only in the IDLE or only in some editors. No, nothing like that. You can write it anywhere, everywhere, just to save it as .py. Okay. So let us say if we have all files here and still you want to make it as a Python file, just make the extension as .py. Okay. So it becomes the Python file. So save it and run it. See here, it is giving the output as hello world, right? So this is how simple the Python will be. This is just very, very basic. I can say I can't tell based on this, but still, uh, Python is very simple compared to other languages. Okay, it is the simple plain English, nothing more, just some additional syntax to have brackets and double quotes like that. Okay, so this is one way of running the Python code from the IDLE. Or else now, let us say your file is stored in this location in C users OneDrive documents. In this path, our file is stored. Okay. I don't know if you are aware of the command prompt or not. Just now we have seen, right? So go to this path. Uh, where is it? Documents, create training. Okay. Okay. So here right click. 1 second. Okay. Open in terminal. Okay. Just right click on this file. What I'm doing is right click on this file and open in terminal. Okay, so it has taken to the relevant path, December 2025 Python. So here also you want to execute that Python file. How you can execute it is, this is another way of executing. I'm showing you various ways, whichever is more convenient to you, you can follow that. Since this is our first session, I'm showing you the multiple ways. Okay, because each organization, they might be running in the multiple ways. So I just want to let you know all the things. Okay, here what is our file name here? Hello. So here you have to execute Python space hello.py. Okay. Dot is coming. Just one second. Hello.py. This is enough. See here. Hello world is printed. So this is the second way. You can store file anywhere in your system and open that in your terminal and write the word Python followed by the file name. Okay. Python followed by the file name. So that will be executed. This is another way. So, or else, if you are not comfortable with installations, you don't want, even let us assume you don't have your laptop or you don't have a PC, but still you want to learn Python. How? So just go to online browser. What is this? Okay, just go to online browser, open Python online compiler. You can even open through your mobile also, but it will be lit. It's a small screen, right? So you'll not be very comfortable with that. But still, if you want, you can try it. Just try to print hello world. Okay, just run it. So this you no need to save the file anywhere. You no need to install anything. You can directly come to this website, Python online compiler, and start writing your code and execute it. You can practice it here as well. Okay. So this is another way. So let me tell you few more examples, few more ways to execute. So we have something called Visual Studio. Visual Studio is one of the tech editors. So most of the organizations they'll be using the Visual Studio. It is an editor. Okay, open this Visual Studio. In Visual Studio also, we can open that Python file. Let me open that file here. Where is my file available in the documents? The trainings, Python. Hello. Okay. I'm opening this file. This is a simple Python file. So if you want to run it, there is a run button somewhere here. One second. Where is this run button? Mm, mm, mm. Okay, here it is. Run and debug. Okay, Python. Instead of debug, there will be just a run option as well. Let it be. Okay, see here it is given hello world. Here this is the run button. It has run and has given the output. You can write any number of lines of code here, save it and start executing it using the run button. This is similar to IDLE. There is no difference at all. This is similar to IDLE. Here also, if you don't want to run it from here, just write Python space hello.py. Okay, this dot slash all of that is not required. Okay, it is executing. It is similar to the command prompt as well. So I'm not going to use any of these methods for our sessions because I'll tell you if I start on writing the code, I'll end up in writing 100 lines of code. Every time I'd have to execute those 100 lines of code. I don't want to do that. I want to go step by step and show you the output that should be saved. So for that, we have something called notebooks. We have something called notebooks. Let me show you what that notebook is. Open a new file. So see here, text file, Python file, Jupyter notebook, Snowflake SQL file. So I'm going to open Jupyter notebook. This is also another Python file, but this comes as a notebook. Let me show you how it looks like. Okay, notebook. So let me also save this as, this is not a .py file. Notebooks will not be .py. It will be IPYNB. Okay, let me store it here. Hello dot IPYNB. Okay, here save it as all files or whatever it, let it be. Whatever it is, let it be. Anyways, we are storing with hello dot IPYNB. Save that. Okay, see here, immediately as soon as we have saved the file with IPYNB mode, then the cell has appeared. Here we have to write our program. So here I'm going to write the same thing. Print hello world. Just run it here. Now this is the run button. Okay. So choose the environments, select the Python environment. So, and also select the version 3.14. Now start running. So running cells with Python requires kernel package. So this is a Visual Studio. It requires some packages. Just install that. So whatever prompts you will get, just go with the instructions. So it is getting downloaded. It won't take much time, just a minute. It is installing the package. We can even use the older versions 3.10, which is already installed if it is taking more time. Let us see for a minute and go ahead with the others. Okay, it is installed, it is connecting. Okay, now the output is also displayed. Now we don't need this terminal anymore. So for each cell, you will get the output. This is one cell. You can write any number of lines of code in this cell. So if you want something else which is independent of this, so I want to write another code which says print hello students. Okay, I don't want to execute this. I just want to execute only this line. Okay, run it here. Hello students. So if in the normal files, how you have to write it? If you want to execute this line as well, this should be existing, and this is the additional thing. So now what happens if I run this? Everything will be executed. Okay, let us wait. See here. Oh, the two lines got executed, but if I don't want this line, I have to comment it. So similarly, if I have hundreds of lines of code, I have to comment whatever is not required and execute whatever is required. So instead of doing all of that, this makes our life easier. So whatever is required, that part you can write it in a new cell and execute only that one. Still, you will be able to see the output of the previous code along with the current code. Okay, this is the flexibility we have with the notebooks. So for all of our sessions, we will be using the notebooks because you will be able to see the output and also the code for each thing. But here, if you want to see the output, you have to know what is commented, what is uncommented, and you have to compare that with the output. Okay, so these are all the various ways in which we can execute a Python program or write the Python code. Whichever is convenient, you can follow that. If you're not comfortable with any of this, just go with the online editor as well. So most of the features will be supported in the online editor as well. There are some exceptions which you can't do in the editors that we'll see later. For that, you definitely need to install and start using. Okay. So for any of these methods except the online compilation, we need Python to be installed on your machine, right? So we'll continue from here. Now you have seen this very basic or the simple program, hello world, with just one line, right? So now let us see the features. Another other features or the programmatic features of the Python. Okay, let me open a new cell. So Python is dynamically typed language. Okay, dynamically typed language. When I say this, what it means. So if you want to define some variable in other languages, don't worry if you don't know other language also. I'm just telling you, for example, in other languages, you need to declare the data type of that. If you want to define the variable a, you should define the data type of that as integer or string or whatever it is you have to define. Otherwise, it will not accept any values. But in case of Python, you no need to define the data type. Based on the values assigned to the variable, it will automatically decide which data type it is. Okay, let us write it first. We no need to define data type for a variable. Based on the values assigned, it will be detected automatically. It will be detected automatically. Let us see how. So when see here, unknowingly I have written this hash. Hash represents commenting. This line will not be executed. When you write something in the hash, this line will not be executed. Nothing will be displayed. Okay. This is like a comment. This is not the actual program. This is a comment. So it will not be executed. In Python, if you want to comment any line, just use the hash so that that program will not execute. Now, I'm defining the variable a with the value 10. So let us execute this. It is executed, but still it did not display any result because I did not print anything. So print is to display the values, whatever you are doing. Without print, you will not be able to see the output. Okay, for now, without print, you will not be able to see the output. Let us say print a. So this print is a default function available in Python to print the data or whatever it is. What to display something, you should use print. I'm just printing the variable a. Okay, just printing the variable a. See, this is 10. The value of a is 10. So how are you telling whether this is an integer or a string or a float number? So in order to check the data type of a variable, we have to use type of the variable name. Okay. So with this type, it will know what data type it is. But in order for us to see, we should use print of type of a. Type is slowly we are getting into the coding. So please focus. This is to know the data type. Oh, the data type. Type is used to know the data type of the variable. Okay, let us execute it. See here, this is of class integer. Int means integer. So I did not say whether this 10 is an integer or a string, but Python has detected automatically as an integer. Okay, let us take another example. Now, b equal to, I'll give the same number 10, but this time I'm enclosing it in a single quotes. Single quotes or double quotes meaning the same in Python. There were some special cases where it is different. I'll tell you that later. Now print b and also the type of. Here, the value of b is 10, but this time this is of class str. Str stands for string because I have enclosed this in single quotes. So in Python, if anything is enclosed in single or double quotes, that becomes the string by default. By default, that becomes the string, even though that is a number. Okay, anything enclosed in single or double quotes becomes the string. So I did not tell whether the type of B is a string or any other thing. I just given the value based on that. It has automatically decided it to be a string. Okay. So this is the meaning of the dynamically typed language. Right. So now we'll discuss another feature. Python languages are of two types: interpreter and compiler. So let us see compiler or interpreter. Okay. So compiler means, let us say we have 100 lines of code. All the lines of code will be scanned and executed. So like all the lines of code will be scanned and executed. Let us say there is some error in the 10th line. Okay. It will fail. Definitely it will fail because of that error. And after the 10th line, there is also another in 30th line. So the line number 10 and 30 both has the errors. So in the compiler language, it will show error in both the lines. It will show there is error at line number 10, and after that it will execute the next part and it will show there is error at line number 30. And if there are few more errors, it will also show that line numbers error in so and so lines in the compiler language. Okay. So let us see compiles all the program, and if there are multiple errors, it will display all of them. Okay. It will compile all the program at once. Compile means reading the program and making sure there are no syntax errors or any other errors. It compiles all the program at once, and if there are multiple errors, it will display all of them. Okay, now coming to interpreter, it reads line by line, one line at a time. Reads line by line. So let us say we here also we have 100 lines of code, and there is an error at line number 10. It will stop execution there itself. So if there is error at line number 10, it will stop execution there itself. It won't even go further and check if there are any errors in the any other lines of code. Okay, it will stop in that line itself. Reads line by line, and if it finds any error at any of the line, it stops execution at that line itself. Okay, it stops execution at that line itself. Now, what kind of language is Python? Python is an interpreter language. So it reads line by line, and wherever it finds the error, it will stop execution. Okay, this is all the notes we are writing. This is not the Python code. These four lines, this is the notes. This is not the Python code. Now let us say, in order to comment one line, you are using hash. Now I want to comment these four lines because this is not the coding. This is just the notes we are writing for our reference. In order to comment multiple lines, use triple quotes, triple single quotes, or triple double quotes. Anything is fine. If you're starting with the double quotes, end with double quotes. If you're starting with single quotes, end with single quotes. Both means the same. Okay. So now all of this is a comment. This will not be executed. So now let us see uh, how it is interpreter or how it is a compiler. I'm writing A equal to 10, B equal to some 20. Let us write A, print A, and I'll also write print B. Print B, intentionally I'll make the mistake, print B. So usually there should be brackets here after the print, but I'm not writing brackets here. So let us see what happens. See here, it is giving error at line number 10. Missing parenthesis in print. Did you mean print? Okay, let us say. After this also, I'm writing something correct. Print again A. Okay. So, or I will write D equal to 30 and printed it. There is no error with the line number 14 and 15. There is error at only line number 12. So, execute it. Okay, this is a syntax error. So, that's why it is not even printing the output of the 11th line. Okay. So it stopped execution here itself. It is not even going further because this is a syntax error. It is not going further. Let us say I'm printing B correctly. So now I also want to print C, but C is not declared. I don't know what C is here, but I'm trying to print it. Now let us see. The first two lines of output, A and B, they are available and they are printed. In case of syntax errors, uh, it did not even see the first two lines. I mean, whatever is correct, it did not even consider that. Okay, because it is Python. I cannot say strictly compiler or an interpreter. It is a combination of both. Python is both compiler and interpreter. How it is a compiler, how it is an interpreter, let us see. In case of syntax errors, it is checking the whole lines of code. Okay, it is saying if the first 50 lines of code are correct, then also it is not going to provide the output. In case of syntax errors, for the syntactical errors, it is compiling all the code. But in case of logical errors, this is a logical error because C is not defined, but still we are trying to print the C. In this case, it is behaving like an interpreter. Okay. In this case, it is behaving like an interpreter. 10 and 20 were displayed, but it is not going further. It is saying C is not defined. Even this line is having error, but still these two lines of code are good. So, but still it did not execute because this is an interpreter. It has found an error here. It stopped execution here itself. But in case of syntax errors, even though there are multiple syntax errors, it will show only the first one. Let me show you. Okay. So there is syntax error at line number 12 and also 13, right? Let us see. It is giving only the first line. But still it is scanning the entire code. It did not even print this value. The value of A, there is no problem till this line, but still it did not provide the value. So this way it behaves both like a compiler and also an interpreter. Okay. So once again, let us check this interpreter or compiler. See here, it is often described as an interpreted language, but it also incorporates elements of compilation, making it a hybrid language. It is a combination of both generally. Okay. So when you run a Python script, the Python interpreter first compiles the source code into an intermediate format called bytecode. This is all the machine level understanding. This is all not required for us. Okay. So compilation, it will first convert it into the bytecode. Okay. But it's a low level when the compilation step up happen implicitly. The same thing, whatever we have discussed in case of syntax errors. First, it is compiling the code to see if there are any syntax errors. If not, if there are logical errors, it is behaving like an interpreter. Okay. So it is a combination of both. Python is both an interpreter and as well as a compiler language. Coming back. Okay. So that is the meaning. So, but mostly treated as sorry, treated as interpreter language. It's most of an interpreter language. Okay. So dynamically typed interpreter. Yeah. And let me see what else we have. Okay, now let us slowly deep dive into some concepts. Let us discuss about the variables. Yes?
What will happen if you define, say, after in line 6, 17 or 18 like that? It will take it.
No, it won't take. Let me comment it here. Let me remove this line. If there now all the lines of code will be executed because this is not a syntax error. This is a logical error. All the lines of code will be executed and finally it will throw error here. Let me show you. See here. C is not defined. But if it is a syntax error, okay, let me make it syntax error. It won't even produce the output of the previous lines.
If you define, see, after print, see, if you define like C
Okay,
is
you mean
something,
here if I okay, no, it won't
yeah,
take. It
okay,
won't. It has to be defined before printing. Then only it will know. So let us say I'll remove this and provide C here. Then only it will know. Before printing anything, it should be there. In order to call a student in a class, the student should be available. The same thing here. Okay, got it?
yeah. What will say if you print C, if you put in a double in columns
Sorry, what happened? Sorry, I didn't get it.
in, yeah, 19th line, instead of
Hmm.
only C, if you put in a double quotes,
It will just print the hard coded C.
okay,
Double quote means it will print as it is. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Mm. Okay. Now coming to the variables. Variables, we have already declared some variables A, B, C, D. So there were some rules to define the variables. Let us see. Variable names. Variable names should not start with numbers or special characters. Okay, it should not start with numbers or special characters. Let us see. I'll write it here. So I'll define the variable 1a. Let us see 1a equal to some value 10. It is an error. The color itself indicates it's an error. See here, invalid decimal literal. So the numbers are not allowed in the first place. Even the special characters. When I say special characters, okay, any symbols. But if I take hash here, that becomes the comment. That's why I did not take hash. So this is equal to some 12. This is also not allowed. In the first line itself, it is saying an error. Let me comment this out. So here now it is giving line number 2 invalid syntax because special characters are not allowed or the numbers are not allowed at the beginning of the variable name, but they should be at the later parts. Okay, but they can be at later part. Okay, so what does it mean later part? Let me comment this as well. These two are invalid. Now A1, sorry, A1 equal to 10. Now this is fine. No issues with this. Yeah, A1 is fine. Now let us try with the symbol equal to 20. See here, symbols are not allowed at any part of the variable. Okay. So first discuss about the numbers, but they can be in the later part. Variable names should not contain numbers, but they can be in the later part. Variable names should not contain special characters except underscore. Okay. Underscore is allowed. Except other than underscore, nothing is allowed. So this is also invalid. Now let me make it a underscore 1 equal to 10. This is fine. This will work. Okay. Underscore is fine. You can have underscore at the beginning as well, but for the underscore at the beginning, it has a special meaning. It is a protected variable. Protected means there are three types of variables. We'll discuss that concepts later. But underscore is allowed at the beginning, at the middle, or anywhere it is allowed. Okay. So now it should not have any keywords. Variable name should not be a keywords. Variable names should not be keywords. There are some keywords in Python like for, if, else, while, def, class, and what else, pass. There are a lot of keywords, around 33 keywords, I think, uh, whichever are whichever are having some special meaning in Python, they should not be used as a keywords. Dict, set, list, tuple. So there are some keywords, around 33 keywords. Let us see keywords in Python. Okay, these are the list of keywords. I think there will be 33 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they have given 30 around. Okay, these are all the keywords. We should not use them as variable names. Okay, all of these keywords should not be used as variable names, otherwise, it will give errors. Okay, now let us try to do that. So now I'll write else equal to something, else equal to test, some variable I am giving. See here, it is saying invalid syntax. So keywords are not allowed to use as variable names. It will understand it as a something else. Some functionality is expected out of this. That's why they are not allowed to use as a keywords. Right. Special characters not allowed at any part. So another thing to note here is, let us say I'm defining the same variable multiple times. First, I will define a equal to 10 and print it, print a. This time the value of a will be 10. So again, I'll define a equal to 20. What will be the value of a now? If you print at this line, what will be the value of a? It will be 20. What happened to the 10? It was overwritten. So for the same variable, if you define multiple times, if you provide other values, it gets overwritten. Using the same variable, if you are providing multiple values, then it gets overwritten. So if you want to use the value 10 for a, that is possible only till here, only unless and until it was overwritten. So it was overwritten at that line. So prior to that line, the value of a will be 10. Before overwriting, the value will be 10, but after overwriting, it will be 20. So be careful while defining the variables. If you are using the same variable again and again, it gets overwritten. So let us say you are doing some operations here, a into a plus 10. So with the existing value, if you are adding the value 10 to that, so please make sure that you are adding to this, not to the first value. Definitely, it will get added to this. So sometimes we might be in the assumption that it will get added to this. We are intended to add this, but we forgot that we have overwritten the variable and we are expecting the output 20, but we are getting the output 30. Okay, so be careful while defining the same variable names and assigning values to that. Variables will be overwritten. I'll write it here. If we define same variable multiple times, then only the latest. value will be considered. Others will be overwritten. Okay, others will be overwritten. Please be careful about that. Okay, so here I have just made it numbers. Maybe for the value of A, I'll make it as Python and print A now. So the value of A will be Python. Okay, so be careful while using the variables multiple times, the same variable multiple times. Right, there should not be any spaces in the variable names. All right, right. Variable names should not contain spaces. Okay, so let us try that. So I'll make it as variable name equal to Python. So let us try this. See here, invalid syntax because it is treating as a two separate things. So variable name should always be in a single line, single word. Okay. So I have combined that with a underscore, so that become a single word. Variable name should not contain spaces. Space is also considered as a special character in Python. Okay. So it should not contain spaces. So these are the rules for defining a variable. Okay. So now also I want to mm, tell you one more example uh, to show you how simple the Python will be. Let us say you want to add two numbers. In other languages, first you need to declare some default lines. We have to write some two or three default lines. And then you have to define the data type of that variable and then you have to add it. So it generates some six or seven lines. So, but in Python, if you want to add two numbers assigned to a variables, or first I will not assign any variable, just write the numbers 10 plus 20. Okay, I want to know the output. See here, by default, Python has understood it as num integers. 10 is an integer, 20 is an integer. So do a mathematical operation. Something in the chart. Okay. So it is 30. Now, if I make the same thing, 10 plus 20. Now, this time these are strings. What is the expected output? 10, 20. So, what happened here? These are strings. When we include the numbers or anything in the single quotes or double quotes, that becomes the strings. When we are adding two strings, they will be side by side. So, 10 and 20 are side by side. This we call it as a string concatenation. So I did not tell Python this is a string, make it as a concatenation. I did not tell that. Python has automatically understood based on the given values, right? So this is how easier it will be to do some operations as well. Okay, now let us try to add it to some variables. I equal to
Excuse me.
some value. Yes.
Uh, we didn't say print over here, but still it's give us
Yeah,
not
it works like a prompt. So this is not a variable. We are just directly providing the values. This works like a prompt.
uh,
Okay, here j equal to 345. Now, if you write I plus j, see here 579. So let us make it one of them as a strings and see what happens. Now it gives error. See here it is giving error. Unexpected operander for integer and string. Correct, right? So integer cannot be added to a string. Though it is shown as a number, we will not be able to add. But I mean, technically, what it is understanding is this is some non-numerical value. If it is some numerical value, why should we store it as a Why should we store it in a single quotes? Whenever we are storing it in single quotes, Python virtual machine on the background, it is understanding it as, hey, this is something not to be treated as a number. It has some other meaning. So I should not make this a number and add it to this. Okay. In order to make it as a number, there should not be any quotes. It should be a plain number. Whenever you are doing some decorations on this, the single quotes or double quotes, the meaning is changing. So it is not able to add to the number. Though it is a number, we will not be able to add it because this is a string, right? So string cannot be added to number. Okay. So if you also make this as a string, then you will be able to add 234, 345 will come side by side. Okay. So now, so let us see what are all the data types available in the Python. Data types. Data types are integer. Everybody knows this. What is an integer? Decimal. Decimal also we know the point numbers. String. String is nothing but the plain text. These three everybody knows. Other than this, we have Boolean. Boolean also most of you know true or false. True or false will be Boolean. Other than this, there are special data types in Python, explicit to Python. They are list, tuple, dictionary, and set. These are the four other data types we should be well versed with in Python. Okay. So quickly we'll cover the first four because we already know what those are. Okay. Again, iterating one more time. I'll repeat one more time. The type, the keyword type will tell you the type of the variable. So now x equal to some 100. Print. Within the print statement, you can write any number of variables. No need to write n number of print statements for n variables. Okay. I want to print the x. Along with that, I also want to know the type of x. Type of x. Okay. This is a x value is 100 and the type is integer. Good. So this is the meaning of integer. No doubt at all with the integer. Now y equal to, so 100 point some number. Print y comma type of y. See here, this is a float. Decimal is nothing but a float. So let us write float here. Float. And now z equal to Python. So single quotes or double quotes, the meaning is same. Print z comma type of z. Okay, this is of type string because it is in single double quotes. So let us also use the single quote so that you will be clear. P equal to SQL. These are all the basics. You should be good with this. P comma type of P. Okay, this is also a string. So single quotes and double quotes, the meaning is same. So now I'll write Boolean. So let us say B equal to false. False and true are the Boolean values. Print P comma type of B. See here, bool means Boolean. True or false are the Boolean values. Okay. Now, if you write the same false in the single quotes, it becomes string. Single quotes or double quotes, it becomes a string. See, it has become the string now. So be careful. Don't enclose the Boolean values in single or double quotes. Anything, if you enclose in single or double quotes, it becomes string. So these three types, we are good. I mean, the four types. But string also, let me bring this out because the string has various functions. Okay. The first three, everybody knows integer, float, and a boolean. String also we know a little bit. whatever is text, that will be considered as a string. So on the string will there are n number of operations we can do. So we'll continue in our next session. Okay, so I'm stopping it here. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Also, I'll be sharing this file in the chat window. Please wait. Please let me know if I'm too